Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Brahim Habaim. Efo Haida. Ni mi hao. Buongiorno. Bonjour. Guten Morgen. Mihaba. And what's up? This is Apostle William D. McGee Jr. here in San Antonio, Texas at Fanatic Central 101. Coming to you live, as usual. Been away from the place for well, I've been here, but I've just been sitting back and I'm deciding what front I want to go ahead and launch against today. Today I'm going to step away from my normal front and I'm going to step into an area that I think everybody needs to pay attention to, and that is mental illness. Now, my son, I have a mental ill son suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. I'm not afraid to say it. And he's been suffering it since he was 26 years old. He's now 36, 10 years. And you'll be amazed at how our government, how our state, and how our cities fail to help any individual, especially adults, once they get over 18, assist them in becoming productive citizens with their illness. Let's talk about that. Now, there's a whole lot of people here in San Antonio that I've been going with him back and forth to the clinic. When he first was diagnosed, they put him at the state hospital, saying, well, we got to get him into the system. Do you know there's a whole bunch of people in the system? But guess what? It's like a merry-go-round. It's like an in and out. We have people that are mentally ill, bipolar, paranoid schizophrenia, schizoaffective, DID, dissociated identity disease, PTSD, coming back from the war all messed up, or major issues, violence that causes PTSD, ADD. We're talking about adult things. We're not talking about the children thing. Now, as a child, they'll help take care of the child. But once you turn 18, well, you're on your own with your mental issue. We have organizations called NAMI. We have other hospitals here all in San Antonio. But we have a major crisis. Now, I've been studying this for a while. I've looked into this issue. And today I'm going to bring it out. Today I'm going to talk about it. I want everyone that can hear this video. If you have somebody in your family that is suffering from a mental illness, it is time that we do something. Marching and protesting with signs, going up to the Capitol, going up to the federal buildings and all these other places. It's good, but it's not good. We have been marching for years. We've been talking for years. Here in San Antonio, Texas, we have a state hospital. Actually, we have many state hospitals. State hospitals with beds allocated for helping mentally ill persons, citizens within this city. Yet, the state has taken those same beds and given them over to the criminally insane. Those that have already killed people that should be in prison versus being in a state mental institution. They call them forensic beds. But guess what? Forensic beds need to stay where they normally are. Forensic, when I hear forensic, I'm thinking about the medical examiner. You've already kicked the bucket and you shouldn't have no bed. You should be already gone. Okay? The only bed you need is the one out there in the cemetery or crematory, wherever they do forensic. But to take state mental beds away from the citizens and give it to criminally insane, I find that insane. That's insanity. When you let out, you kick out all the mental patients that are in the state hospitals and replace them with criminally insane people that have killed one, actually more than one, two or three, and they are already in prison. So guess what? Here's the deal. Here's what I want. This is what we need to do as a people, as a family. These are our sons and our daughters, our children, grandchildren, all suffering from a mental issue. And any one of us at any time can go into a mental issue, depression, anxiety, all those things that everybody wants to push off on somebody else, saying, "Oh, wait a minute, oh no, I'm sane." But guess what? We're all go insane at some time. We all have a day of anxiety, a day of depression. And these things never get brought up. Now we have NAMI, as I said. We have other agencies that deal with the mental issue. They monitor in it. Here in San Antonio, we have group homes that are not registered or certified by the city. And the only time they get any notoriety is when a house catches on fire and it kills 4 of the 14 people that are staying in there. They're not able to open the door and go out. They got them locked in. And these people join SSI, Social Security, $698. And their rent is $600. And the person of the group homes are collecting the whole pay. $600. Some people get SSI and SSDI. So they get about $1,300. So they can actually move forward to another little higher place. Still, that pays for room and board. But those on the low end, with just the SSI, they can only pay for their room and board, and maybe some meals. They have to spend their time mostly with their parents, if they're able, and they need to stay on their meds. Now, here's the other thing. That's the thing. It's like a revolving door. They go in. I've sit in there for 3 or 4 hours for somebody just to get a shot. And they claim, "Oh, we don't have enough staff." But the doctors, they see the person as soon as my son walk in, and the other persons, and they're sitting in there for 2, 3, 4 hours just to get one shot. And they know that the meds is wearing off. When they could send nurses out to give them their monthly shot, their 30-day shot. But they choose not to. And they claim that, "Oh, we're doing the best that we can." Well, you know what? These are the things that really irks me with our system here in San Antonio. And I'm quite sure it's across America. We have NAMI pushing the issue about stigma, about, people don't like to be called mentally ill. But guess what? Stigma versus being treated is 2 different things. We've got to educate the people, the sane people, to tell them that, hey, you know what? Mental illness is a sickness. It's a disease. And every time somebody comes up with a suggestion like a registry, to keep track of all the people in the city, in the state, that are suffering from mental illness. We have other lawyers and everybody else talking about, hey, that's illegal. We can't do that. Why? Because it will hold everybody accountable to what they're supposed to be doing. It will hold the doctors, the psychiatrists, everybody accountable on the progression toward recovery for these people, for our sons and daughters. I told you I'm going to be in this area for a little bit. Okay? Because this hits home. Do you know how it feels? That you can't really go anywhere because you're afraid that your son or daughter may burn the house down? or may injure themselves because they're all, when they get on off their meds, they're in a place that you can't see, and they're talking the voice, and they're out there, and they're harming not just themselves and you, but the neighborhood. And we want to put them away in a state hospital, because well, the state hospital is not to put them away in there, it's to go in there and get back on the road to recovery. But they can't do it. Why? Because we have politicians that feel that criminally insane people need to be in the state hospital. No, criminally insane people that have already committed murder or killed people need to be in the prison. You know what the real reason is? Overpopulation at the prison. You know why they're overpopulated prison? Because no one wants to take the effort to say, you know what? What does the scripture say? Kill. If you kill, you will be killed. Everybody's going in on a 20-year or life punishment. Killing 4 or 5 people. Oh, they're in there for life. Do you know how much it costs to keep somebody, to house somebody for life? So you're not just saying, well, you're gonna, the ones right there that put them in are gonna pay for it, but the ones, their children and their children's children's gonna pay to keep this person off the street, when all you gotta do is like, you know what? I'm sorry, but if you kill someone, well, guess what? Let's see, what do we have? Electric chair, hanging, shooting. Well, lethal injection. All those things are for those who kill someone. Now, I'm not saying accidentally kill someone. I'm talking about intentionally, cold-blooded killers. And you say, well, they're insane. Well, they went insane. Well, guess what? If it's determined that they were insane, well, we have a lot of people out here right now that needs those facilities. And they haven't killed anyone. They haven't injured anyone. The only one that are injured is themselves. The only one they've been becoming a nuisance in the community because they cannot get the proper medical support they need for their disease. This is a major problem. This thing spans not just in America, but in London, in England, in Australia, all across the world. Somebody is suffering from mental illness. Australians, the governor there in Australia, the president and the prime minister, saw and is making an attempt to try to rectify his area. And he's finding out that these individuals, these citizens, these are citizens. Look, when they're with their mental illness, they're unable to vote. That's a vote that you've lost. So if you're a million and some votes short, well, guess what? You can rest assured that it's because you have some mental ill people suffering from mental illness that don't even vote. They don't even register to vote. Why? Because they're too busy trying to survive. These are the things that NAMI and all the other mental associations are trying to push to get our government, our mayors, and our governors to see, and our state representatives. This is a major issue. Major issue. State, like I said, state hospital beds taken for criminally insane. Now, I'm sorry. They're going to have, if they didn't kill someone, then guess what? That's what the prison's for. And if they done murdered more than, then guess what? It's time that somebody seriously takes a serious look at saying, do we build bigger prisons? Or do we start cleaning house? I'm Apostle William D. McGee Jr. here in San Antonio, Texas.